So I first started out with a test image I made earlier, so I could get all the placements for the logos and other junk right, and overlaid all the logos, therefore I could make them disappear later and they wouldn't show up for the final design. Then of course I put in the waves and made sure it was placed how I wanted it to be. I found this by typing in PewDiePie theme background, then clicked on 4K filter, and downloaded it from a site called Pixels. Oh, by the way, I got the idea to make the PewDiePie card because of these posts on the PewDiePie subreddit. Then for a play on words, I thought it would be funny to add PewDiePie in his iconic font underneath Trust, so it would read Trust PewDiePie. Actually, I don't know what was going on in my monkey brain, but in reality, this bank is pronounced Truist. But back to the video. Oh, I forgot to mention, this design is specifically for Trust Bank. But later on, I'll make a design that'll fit any card. So Trust Bank is a result of a merger between BB&T and SunTrust Bank. I feel like they're the best big bank that actually allows you to fully customize your card. Wells Fargo lets you, but I'm not too comfortable with Wells Fargo yet. After I added Maya and Eggy, because why not, I found cartoon versions of them, at least that's what I thought. After doing more research, they are actually Pugly Pugs, based on Bailey the Blind Pug by this person. It's pretty crazy because Maya and Bailey are both blind in the same eye. I still thought they looked like Edgar and Maya, and they were cute, so I decided to use them anyways. Next, of course, I found clip art of the Brofist. I wanted it to look like more of a small emblem in the corner. At first, this was the final design, but then I found these cool badges, made by Spur, and I cut them each out and put them near the Brofist, so you can choose which gang you're in. At first, I used the badges from the post because I thought the handwriting on the top was really nice, but later on I decided to make more of a standard set. Here, I noticed some of the badges, especially the red badges, blended too much with the background, so I added a shadow to make them pop out more. I also added a shadow to all of the other elements. I thought they looked better with a slight shadow. Makes the background pop out more, in my opinion. Here, I'm just wanting to check how everything fits together. Then I wanted to check how Pewts would look instead. In the end, I thought the horizontal version of the card looked better with the full spelling of PewDiePie. Just final adjustments, and the horizontal version is finished. Then for the vertical version, I did the same thing. Took a test image to get all the elements in place, and I took all the elements from the horizontal version and imported them into the vertical version. But I thought actually for the vertical version, it looked better with Pewts rather than PewDiePie. I thought putting the same horizontal design looked a bit weird, so I was moving and testing things around to see how they look. I ultimately thought the Brofist looked better between Maya and Edgar. For the vertical version, I didn't think the badges actually fit, so I took them out. Oh, but if you disagree, feel free to change anything. I'll be posting a shared file with all of these designs with the Photoshop file. I flipped the waves to see if they looked better going the other direction. They did not. I liked how they were before. Then just some final adjustments. I looked at the final design and I didn't like how the Brofist, Maya and Edgar weren't aligned with anything, so I moved them to be centered of the Trust logo. But I understand not everyone has the access to get a Trust account, so I also made a version for a CUCU cover, which is basically a sticker for your credit or debit card. For this design, I replaced the Trust logo with the gang symbols, because I sort of wanted it to still look like a real credit card or debit card. Then I tested what still worked from the original design, if I should keep the original design or start anew. And I wanted to see how the final design would look like as a CUCU cover. Then I wanted to see if this design would work if your card has a chip. I started with the large chip design first. It did not work, so I took the template to make a new design. I took off all the card elements because I already have a template of where all the holes would be. I thought the same CUCU design I still liked the best, but shifted things higher so it wouldn't be cut off. It made the Brofist smaller and moved it a bit lower so it would fit. And I removed the PewDiePie text and put Maya and Edgar instead. Thought it looked better for this design. Then tested it. It works. Now I wanted to see if the same design works for a small chip cutout too. It also works. Then I just finalized the design, and now next, I wanted to make a vertical design version. So I took the template of the cutouts but just rotated it, and placed it on top of the vertical design we designed for Trust Bank. But instead of the Trust logo, I replaced it with the gangs, and because of the cutouts, I moved everything to the right bottom corner. Now that I'm making this video, I'm probably going to upload everything facing the other way too, so the design can be facing towards you or towards the person you're paying. Then I just finalized the design and put all of the gang symbols in the bottom right corner. Now just to test it. For the longest time, I couldn't figure out how to rotate the design, but eventually I did figure it out. and it looks pretty nice. Wanted to make sure it works with the chip designs too, and it works as well. But if you're more of a fancier person, you could get a metal version you can clang on the table by using Lion Card. They specialize in making custom metal cards. You basically send in the card you want to replace, and they'll take it apart and put in a new custom card you design. I know it's a waste of money, but it's also really cool in my opinion. If you like it, you like it. This is what the PewDiePie card design will look like if you put it on a Lion card. I used the same design from the CUCU cover, because for Lion there are no logos, but I still wanted it to look like a real credit card or debit card. Looks pretty good. Now for the gang symbols. Like I said earlier, I did redesign them to look more cleaner. Here's a test version of Roof Gang I made earlier. I used the PewDiePie font but tried to keep everything else similar to the original badges. Here's the badge for Chair Gang. I also added a shadow for the text to make them pop out more. Here's the badge for Air Gang. Here's Wall Gang, Toilet Gang, OG Floor Gang, then Desk Gang, Closet Gang, and finally Ceiling Gang. The text didn't fit for Ceiling Gang, so I did have to make an adjustment and make the text slightly smaller. But yeah, that's about it. If you want to see other designs of other things, leave a comment of what would you like to have. Maybe Bob's Burgers or Mr. Beast, or whatever. I enjoy making these. And like I said before, feel free to change anything. I'll be posting a link that'll include the Photoshop file and a couple of template designs. So for the people without Photoshop, you can still have the design for your custom cards. Subscribe if you like to watch credit card and financial videos, and I'll see you later.